1969 is unchanged. It's unchanged, and it's the thing that works. And you know, I know. Syracuse know me. Y'all remember the Christian, the pink ties and purple shirts, the yellow canary suits on Easter, everything. Y'all remember it all. All right. I many Martin Luther King awards here in Syracuse. And thanks to Commanding General. In fact, the Christian church sent me to come up against Commanding General Yohanna and the I.S.U.P.K. years ago.
That's right.
The Church of Christ. That's right.
That's right. You and your real. They try to bring you out.
God.
Put you on the tag team.
That's right. God,
take the I.S.U.P.K. down. The Lord came and took you in.
That's right, sir. Got him on God. She left me, but I gained Commanding General Yohanna as a father, and the generals and the captains, man. Undeniably the truth. All right. So, Commanding General Yohanna, if you wanted to say anything.
Yeah, first of all, Captain Lasagna, I just want to say to Water for having us up. Super appreciated. I've been wanting to get up here for a long time. The spirit on all you brothers up here, man, is so righteous, so brotherly, so caring, so loving. Every time we see y'all come down to the city or wherever events is going on, y'all being so up in the spirit and strong and doing it up. Y'all even do the part of the cooking for the barbecues in New York. So I just couldn't wait to get up here, man, and really hook up with y'all brothers. And now finally in Syracuse. And I just want to say the water for being there.
The water for you, sir. The water for you, sir. The water for you.
Of course, you know, I got General Muhammad with me.
God.
You know what I'm saying? Brought the heavy hitter up here with me.
God,
got Captain Akkad Ryan with me. Captain Soccer Wall also up in here. They all in the building.
God on God.
You know,
they deserve a head. The water for you, sir. All right, and all right, we're gonna bring out some scriptures and some precepts. I specifically wanted to go over this article, sir.
Absolutely, that's an amazing article.
If I could, sir, and I'll jump right into the article as we pull the swords out and get some precepts on it, sir. But this was in the Post Standard. Okay, the Post Standard. This was Friday, December 1st. So this was this past Friday. All right, it's also on Syracuse.com. It's an article that they did here for the city of Syracuse. And the title is this: City named one of the worst for Black Americans. City named one of the worst for Black Americans. Syracuse is one of the 10 worst cities for Black Americans to live in, according to a new report. 24/7 Wall Street created an index evaluating racial inequality in the United States through factors like income, education, home ownership, poverty, incarceration, morality. And despite positive changes since the civil rights movement, a disparity still exists across racial lines. And if any time, Commander General Yohanna, you wanted to jump in and say anything, please do.
If I could.
Yes, please do, sir.
If I could just peek into the brains of Black leadership. First of all, this article, and everybody that's out there listening should go out and get this, pull this article. It's in the Post Standard, but it was also in the Syracuse, what's the name of that page?
Syracuse.com.
The Syracuse.com. You go to Syracuse.com and put in Syracuse poorest city, and it should come up. And everybody should, if you're Black or Latino in Syracuse, really across the country, around the world, you should have read this article and understood that this article is a microcosm of the whole entire empire.
That's right.
Every European country is Syracuse right now. Syracuse is the perfect example of what happens when two nations are on the same plot of land. And let me tell you something else, if I could, about this article. In this article, they did a whole study, and they talked to all the big head doctors and so forth, and they all turned around and said the problem is that Syracuse is separated by I-81. And so on one side of I-81 is all Black and Latino. On the other side of I-81 is all white. And they said because of that separation between both sides is why the economy is bad. I've said in the beginning of this that this article is 100% true and it's 100% lie. And I'm gonna break it down and explain what I mean by it if I could. Meaning it's 100% true. It is black people and Latino people on the black side of I-81 are in poverty and in hell. And the white people on the other side are living lower middle to middle class. Here's the thing. Here's where the lie is. There's plenty of economy in the poor black area. The problem is it's not going to the poor black area.
That's correct.
That's the whole problem. If I could, can somebody get me Lamentations 1:1? The book of Lamentations. Somebody get me a dictionary if you could, and tell me what does the word Lamentations mean. And then go to Lamentations 1:1, because if you suffering in Syracuse, if you struggling to get by, to get some welfare, to get some food on your table, to keep the heat on as we going into the winter, if you incarcerated in the Syracuse area, just come out incarcerated, fighting to get off of drugs, fighting to get your family back, suffering from child support cases, got kids you can't feed, you need to come and see the I.S.U.P.K. ASAP, so you can figure out how do you get out of this trap that you've been put into. Okay, what does the word lamentations mean? Go ahead, Jim.
Lamentation, the passionate expression of grief or sorrow.
The passionate expression of grief or sorrow. Welcome to America if you black. The passionate what?
Expression
of what?
Grief.
Go ahead.
Or sorrow.
Grief or sorrow. That's black Latino people in this empire. And that's why the Lord put this book of Lamentations together. Now, I ain't gonna even go into the whole book. I know some of y'all scared of the Bible, but I ain't even gonna go into the whole book. Just give me the first verse. I might take one or two of them first verses. Read that for me if you could, please.
Lamentation chapter 1, verse 1. How doth the city sit solitary?
How does the city sit solitary? I came up in the Syracuse. I seen so many abandoned houses, brother. I thought I was in a Hollywood horror movie. I seen so much windows boarded up, so much lawns uncut, so much trash piled up everywhere. But then when I turned the corner on the main boulevard. Guess what I saw? Guess what I saw on the main boulevard in the poor section? I saw a nice, clean Dunkin' Donuts.
That's right.
Okay, I saw a nice, clean gas station. I saw a nice, clean Burger King. I was ready to get a burger out of there. I was telling brother, let's go get a burger. It was a nice, clean Burger King. So everybody ain't suffering on the black side. Right. Two nations can't sit on top of the same plot of land, especially if one nation is being selfish and the other nation, their leaders only make you submit to the nation that's gobbling up everything. That's the stupidity. They try to look at the tracks and say it's the highway, man. They say, well, it's the highway. That is the reason. People don't live on both sides. They're not integrated. So the black people can't get the good jobs that's on the white side of town. There's a reason they can't get the good jobs on the white side of town. You telling me the distance is the reason? Wait a minute. You tell me if I get in my car and I'm on the black side of Syracuse, what is it, the south side? And I drive from the south side of Syracuse to the white side of Syracuse, I can't get a job? What, is it the distance? Maybe it's the gas prices. How much is it? $100 a gallon? The gas to get to the southeast is not cost effective to drive from the south side to the white side to get a job. Hell no, that ain't the reason. Excuse my friend. That ain't the reason. The reason you on the south side and can't get jobs and funding is because the white side don't want you there.
That's correct.
It ain't got nothing to do with the highway. It ain't got people coming to Syracuse from down in New York City. They taking the Amtrak, they taking the bus, they flying in. You can go to JFK and spend $107 and get a plane ticket from Syracuse into New York City and vice versa. So don't tell me it got anything to do with anything but white supremacy.
That's right, sir.
400 years of white supremacy. Now let's read about what General Muhammad just broke down. One more time, if you could, General.
The passionate expression,
come on,
of grief.
Hear what God got to say when you start to talk about the passion of grievance, man. The passion of pain and grievance. Something we don't know nothing about towards each other in the black community. But we understand when it comes to, little white supremacy, but we don't understand when it comes to poor, suffering Black and Latino people. A Black kid running around in the street, hair uncombed, no food in their house, barely having a meal. Nobody has compassion on that. Forget about a Black man. Oh my goodness! If you're halfway down in the gutter drain and the water is washing you over, nobody cares. And guess what? And you don't even care either. You know why? You've been trained that way. Read me Lamentations 1:1. I'm sorry to jump on in. I'm gonna come on back to you, Antonio, but I want to get this out of the way if I could. Read on, please.
Lamentation chapter 1, verse 1. It sits solitary.
The city is solitary, meaning it's a dead city. Go ahead. Keep reading. I'm sorry.
That was full of people.
That was full of people. Come on.
How is she become as a widow?
Like a widow, like somebody that, like a woman in ancient times, a woman that didn't have a husband because they didn't have technology and automobiles and motors. She was in trouble. She had to get her sons or her neighbors to cut her wood, to hunt her animals, to feed herself. She was in a tough place as a widow. Her husband was valuable to her. You understand? The white man tried to give you a society where your husband is of no value, try to destroy your husbands. But in the ancient times, you understood and knew the value of your husbands. And through the I.S.U.P.K, our sisters are being re-educated and learning under the Lord and the Bible and the scriptures how to re-evaluate and love their husband. Let's get to the meat. Go ahead.
She that was great among the nations and princes among the provinces.
You hear that? God said it. I didn't say it. God said that these poor Black people and Latino people living on the south side and the poor side of Syracuse, the Most High said they were the great princes. Read that little part again.
She that was great among the nations.
That was great among the nations. You still great among the nations, but you only great for the nations. You understand? Tiger Woods, Serena Williams, every NFL brother that's sitting up there trying to put a knee down, trying to have some strength. What's his name? They played the basketball. Not that piece of I give it to LeBron. Not him. LeBron James. You still mighty and great, but you're not great right now. You're not great right now because you're being eaten alive. Give me a little more.
She that was great among the nations and princes among the provinces, how is she become tributary?
How is she become a tributary? You got to pay your little taxes on your house. You got to pay ever increasing funds on your rent. You got to pay water bill. You got to pay electric bill. You got to pay all these bills, and none of those funds go to your people and to the society you live in. Instead, those monies go to big corporations, and the taxes go to the government, who sends $3 billion a year to the state of Israel alone, and funds people like the Palestinians and so forth. Gave Barack Hussein Obama, who Black people love so much, gave $150 billion to the Iranians, who's supposed to be the sponsors of terrorists, and gave Black people zero. Zero. And that $150 billion is taxpayer money. You ain't got nothing because you are under another nation, lying to yourself, believing that you are part of a nation, and you claim to understand the Bible. If you understand the Bible, why don't you read it? And if you read it, why don't you believe it? Why lie to yourself when the Lord is saying, not me, God is saying in this Bible that he's going to give you the reason this city in Syracuse is in the state that it's in. Brother, read the next line for me.
Verse 2. She wept sore in the night.
She wept sore in the night. And I see it. You on crack, you on pills, you on syrup, you on oxy, you using every dime you got. That's you weeping. You don't even understand. You getting high because you are weeping. And the Lord is sending the prophets to come and drag you out of that hole of hell that you have been in and make you a brand new brother and sister and show you how to be these princes again. It seemed like you ain't never going to get back there. But you're going to get back there. You're going to be them princes again. Give me a little more. I don't want to eat up all the time and let you back in. Go ahead.
And her tears are on her cheeks.
And her tears are on her cheeks. Meaning her tears are right there present when you come see her. We see you. You roaming the streets all night long. You out there every morning, you broke and you destroyed. 12 o'clock noon, you getting out to bed. Why get out to bed? Because it's hell every day. There's nothing in the refrigerator. No job to go to. And if you got a little job to go to, you got to be abused by you know who.
Wow.
White supremacist man number one. Okay? You got to get the foot and the boot and the abuse. Salami. The foot, the boot, and the abuse. Okay, on your spirit. White supremacy is eating us alive. And guess what? Black white supremacy is eating us alive too. Black leaders who are leading us into the arms of the white supremacists, just like they did when they led us into the arms of the Woolworth owners and all the white supremacists who didn't want us in their restaurants and shops, who we forced to take our money. How dare we? Give me a little bit more, if you don't mind, please.
Among all her lovers, she had none to comfort her.
Wait a minute. Why is the Lord bringing up your lovers? That lovers that the Lord is talking about is talking about your white supremacists sitting up over you. Why does he call them your lovers? He calls them your lovers because you love the people who are oppressing you. He calls them your lovers because they're not your real husband. Your real husband is the Lord, Yahweh, in the Hebrew, in the ancient Hebrew, non-vowel imposed Babylonian fake Hebrew Yiddish garbage. The real Hebrew, his name is Yahweh. You don't even know who to call on, man. How you gonna get right? You ain't figured out who to call on to get right.
That's right.
And God said that the whole reason that you are in this suffering, that your tears are on your cheeks, is because you have turned around and joined onto your lovers for comfort. And guess what? They had sex with you. They used you up. They ate the food out your refrigerator, meaning they came in, they set businesses over you. They worked you on menial jobs. Right. They used you up as a people. And when they got finished, they no longer comforted you after they took everything from you. Black man, Latino man, wake up, wake up, wake up out of the madness, man. Wake up. God is calling your brain back, man, to sensibility. Go ahead, a little bit more if I could.
All her friends have dealt treacherously with her.
You hear what God said? They always say, the Hebrews, do they believe in God? Do they believe in Jesus? Do they believe in the New Testament? You better, Skippy, we do. You better know it, we do. And we study it to know it. He said, your friends have dealt treacherously with you. Them people on the other side of the track sitting in City Hall and sitting in the big corporations and sitting in the different city agencies. You think they love you. You think they trying to hire you. You think that you should have hope in them when God said they have dealt treacherously with you. Go ahead,
They have become our enemies.
They did what?
They become our enemies.
No, there's no enemies on the other side of the track. It got to be love on the other side of the track. Kumbaya. Read on,
Verse 3. Judah is gone into captivity.
You're a slave. You've gone into captivity. Lamentations. You suffering. Here's why. Ready? You ready? Read it out.
Because of affliction.
Because of affliction, man. Go ahead. You got more?
And because of great servitude.
You hear what God said? Is God's chosen people to have been in servitude? Let's don't talk about it. Let's don't even go back 400 years. You are in captivity in Syracuse because of servitude. Because you refuse to care about your own enough to turn from this dark, evil place. You refuse to stop loving the people who've set themselves up and eating you alive. You refuse to turn against them and say, you know what? I'm going to help my own. I'm going to obey what God said, and I'm going to do what the Lord said in terms of taking care of my people and not their people. That's Could you imagine Syracuse? You know what I would have loved to have seen if I came to Syracuse, Azania? I would have loved to come off the highway, turn towards the south side, and saw a little diner, black owned. That's right. Making just a little, little Syracuse breakfast, some eggs and jelly and butter, and just doing it in a black way. You know what I'm saying? Not like, I.S.U.P.K, you know. But in the black, you know how we do,
That's right.
extra butter. You know what I mean? I would have loved to have seen that. Drive down a little bit further, see old little one of them trailers sitting out, one of them food trucks. Oh yeah, one of them food trucks out there with a brother making authentic Mexican tacos. You better not have a taco truck up here. I'm going to eat. That's where I'm going to lunch. You got one up here? Oh my God, we see it. If there's one up here, we going to lunch. It ain't none of this.
Edomite.
Oh, of course it is. So you got to get your taco from Taco Bell, not from the authentic Mexicans who's up here working, farm the land, know vegetables better than the vegetable know itself.
That's right.
Know a tomato better than a tomato know himself. I would have loved to have seen that, man. I would have loved to have seen our economy coming in our direction because we serving ourselves instead of serving like the Lord said. We have gone into captivity because of great servitude. We have given up the love of ourselves, man. We asking, if I could, last point, General. We are looking at the problem in Syracuse and saying it is because of the highway between the white and black area. And meanwhile, we are never saying to ourselves that the whole reason the white and black area exists is because those that are on the white side are not interested in having those that are on the black and Latino side come on their side. And that's fine. Why should we be mad at them? God wasn't mad at Pharaoh because Pharaoh wanted to love the Egyptians. God got mad at Pharaoh for what he did to the Hebrews. God ain't never tell Pharaoh, I'm mad with you because you ain't sharing the wealth. Pharaoh, I'm mad with you, man, because you ain't giving my people a fair share of the food. Pharaoh, what is wrong with you? You farming the land and you giving my people none of the... He ain't say that. He said, I'm going to deal with Pharaoh because of the suffering of my people. What did he tell Moses? He said, I heard the suffering of my people. Let me tell you something. You on crack, you in poverty, you can't get a job, you sitting on that couch every day, you struggling in your brain, trying to keep sane, trying to stop from getting high, trying to stop from reaching for that gun. God is hearing you, man. God is hearing you. And he's sending the prophets, man, to get you right and away from that demon that's trying to destroy you. You can't love. How's the white people going to love themselves? And the black people going to love the white people, and ain't going to be no more love for the black people. Like the Lord said, ain't nobody to comfort them. So this article is so true, and yet such a lie.
It's a lie, yes, sir. If I could, sir,
come on,
break down the whole I-81 because I did the history on Interstate 81. Okay. Right on I-81, there is a project complex. We call it the Bricks.
I think I saw it. Them two tall buildings.
Right, but beneath it, it goes blocks and blocks and blocks. Concert. And you're absolutely right. And it was the first housing projects in the United States, and they built it in the 1930s so that the Jewish man could leave Germany with Hitler and come over and reside there. What happened over time, then when you go down I-81, like our side of I-81, sir, the black businesses we had in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s, even my grandfather had a gas station. We had mechanics, tailors, restaurants. We had our own hospital in Syracuse. And it was on that one section going down 81 on our side. And I went to the
I had a dream today.
Guys,
I would wipe out every Negro business in Syracuse. That one day that white people and black people would not be together, but be separated. And that the white people would own it all and the black people destroy it. And if I could, I don't want to cut you off, but if I could, what you just said is so profound. And every single black person in Syracuse should have heard and read between the lines. All those black businesses were there before the civil rights movement.
That's right.
The civil rights movement wiped them out. It was a time when those businesses thrived. We integrated, which they asking us to do again, in this article.
That's right.
And wiped us out. And first of all, is this what they asking in the article is never going to happen.
That's right.
Because it didn't happen in the 40s. It didn't even happen when we were doing good. We were making money. We had businesses. You could have bought a house in the white area. You had enough money to do it. But they still wouldn't let you do it. So the idea that trying to integrate with white people is going to make all things better when they ain't never wanted to integrate with us, even when we made our money. Right. So now that we ain't got nothing, they surely don't want to integrate with us now. So it's ridiculous to even think that something like that could even happen when what should happen is what got us to where we was. What got your grandfather to get that gas station is what we better do right now.
That's right.
And that was, he had to work within his own community to help him and his people, and he got where he had to get. He didn't integrate. Was that an integrated gas station, or was it on the black side?
It was on the black
I
side.
think it was. And then when civil rights came, of course, they bought him the hell out.
That's right.
And civil rights gave them the opportunity to gobble them. Them liberals sat up there. We all get together now. Y'all gonna do great. And took everything from black people across this country. The scripture said the thief only cometh to what? That's it. So go ahead back into it. I'm sorry.
No. You too wild, sir. Anytime. And what happened over time, like you said, during the civil rights movement, the Jewish people got up out of the project and took over Syracuse University. Syracuse University is all Jewish. And when they say the white neighborhood, they're talking about that whole Syracuse University. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so Syracuse University got that whole area, and Syracuse University moving down. They want to take the projects now.
Of course.
They want to take down 81 and reroute it. Yes, all of that.
Exactly.
And it's all Jewish. Right. And then when they put us into the project.
Go ahead. No, you're right. And listen, and it makes such good sense to a predator. To a predator, why should he let you have your businesses and feed yourself when he wants your houses anyway? Remember, he don't want to just live on the white side. He'd rather live on both sides. He'd rather have both. Why have one side when you could have two?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So how do you get two? You're going to have to starve the people on the other side while you eat and do good. Meanwhile, the whole Syracuse University, the entire excuse me, I'm in Syracuse. The entire, you know how I feel about them orange men and that whole religion, whole antichrist religion called sports. The whole thing is built off of the black men that play them sports.
That's correct.
That's a let me tell you something. I came to Syracuse in 1983, where I placed in the Empire State Games for wrestling. Okay, which I know they still hold up here every year. I still got my 1983 uniform. I can't fit in it, but I still got it. You know, when you get old, you got to reminisce on your warrior days. You know what I'm saying? You got to act like you still good, got it good. Well, back then, I came up here back then. And back then, the entire city was us. And people were so enthused about Syracuse University because they believed it was going to make it a black town and be run by black people, when all of that was BS. All they did was get as much of the best sports figures they could to come up into that school and make billions. Meanwhile, them coaches and all that, they making millions off of those black men. They got the whole white side of town is being funded by the university, and the university is being funded by the black sports figures.
That's correct.
Meanwhile, the black side of the town is being destroyed. And then the white man turn around in his racist white supremacist way and say, and on top of that, I know I'm starving out the black side of town. I know you ain't barely got a hot plate of food in your mouth, but also don't take a knee while the game is playing. You might upset us. Don't even kneel for the suffering that you're going through. I'm sorry to tell you, the white man is the devil.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Kind of one kind, sir. Kind of one kind. 2 years ago, sir, just to
come on,
what you're saying, because you've done flooded it, sir. And this is your town, Commander Gen.YAHANNA. The I.S.U.P.K is here. Nobody going to look at you sideways. 2 years ago, there was the transportation, public transportation. The bus company was going to cut its hours drastically. Okay, and instead of It's a black church on every corner on the south and west side of Syracuse. And instead of us getting together, like Benjamin did down in New York City with the dollar van.
Right.
Okay, like how the white man stole that idea from us and created Uber.
And then got rid of the dollar van.
Come, sir. We could have used all them church vans. And I was saying it to the pastors and the politicians. Stop crying. Because all they was doing was crying and begging 24/7. Please don't cut the hours. Please don't cut the bus line. Please don't cut the bus to the train. Please, please, we need the bus. And I'm saying to all the pastors and all the politicians, we got all these church vans at every church. We can give brothers that's coming out of incarceration, we can give them some jobs. They can drive the buses and drive us around wherever we got to go. No, they went inside a city hall, rally, march, petition, got the governor involved to where the governor came in and said, I'm going to give you, he gave out, I think it was $100 million to keep the public transit flowing and keep it going. You know, black people start smiling and happy and happy and happy when all them funds and everything that they got just goes back into supporting the white man, like you saying, sir, rather than our own.
Let me tell you something, Azania. If brothers and sisters had an ounce of sense, and I know we do, they would flock to come see the Captain Azania. Because what you just said, brother, is, listen, you had the solution before they fully understood the problem. Like, had they, the whole reason they kept crying and complaining was because they was waiting on that paycheck, and they got paid when he gave that $100 million. When what they could have done, like you said, is they could have helped themselves, and they would be running the bus system now. And black people would have jobs, and black people would have businesses, and black people would feed themselves and be on top. Captain Azania, you are a blessing to the city of Syracuse, brother. You are you are the granite stone here that they should all cleave onto. Like metal cleave to a magnet, they should be cleaving on to you in Syracuse. You give the right direction on how to deal with this situation.
The water, so that's from Commanding Gen.YAHANNA. My
this is the straight up truth. Just the straight up truth, Bob.
Because they didn't think, like you said, they didn't think we would be able to be up here. I don't know. You remember, you know, the conscious community said, "Oh no, y'all can't have it." Right. Ain't no way. It's too much. White people run things too much. You know, and
they didn't know Captain Azania was coming. They didn't know who he was sending. That's what they didn't understand. They didn't understand who was coming through here, man. You know what I mean? Because brother, what you laying down is how, like, you thinking how everybody need to be educated and thinking. You are never, ever, ever going to join white supremacists and believe that they're going to give you a fair share of the cookie. It is never going to happen. You're going to have to survive coming together as a people. And Captain Azania, you got the right mindset to help black people out of this situation they're in. And brother, it's going to happen in this city in Syracuse. You're going to shock the world in this city in Syracuse, man.
Sir.
Is that calling the time or something?
We got 3 minutes left, sir.
Oh, okay, that's what that flash is.
We got a call on the line. Shalom, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? Okay, go ahead, real quick, brother.
Yeah, real quick. Okay, yeah, I just was saying what the brother was saying. I agree with that. We just think it's been people handing out, and we got to come in and have your own possession, own your own. The word of God says, "Blessed is the man that has his own."
Like we do have you are so on the right track, that we have got to not only own our own, but we have to be completely concerned with our own.
That's right.
Like our lives in the 21st century has to be completely absorbed with the welfare and well-being of our people. If we got to cook, if we got to get our grandmamas all together in one kitchen to cook breakfasts for all the kids in Syracuse, we better get started. If we got to make up lunches and drive people to work in the school and set up some way for brothers and sisters to get jobs out of town, we have got to do it. We've got to set up all these businesses, and more, and just as important, like you bring it out, we had better support these businesses.
That's right.
So that they could come, and starting with Captain Azaniah, the priest of the Lord, paying him his tithe instead of paying them into the black hole of some of these situations we in, brother. You right.
Right. So you're saying, my brother, it's good to have your own possession instead of having the world assist you. Because here, just as our South, but we have our own. We own our own. But we wouldn't have to go through it. Am I right about it?
You 100% right. Like, as we go down that path, not only would we be blessed by the Lord by the business itself, but we would be blessed by the Lord because we begin to think about the people. Like any business, if I cut afros, then what am I going to be concerned about? I'm gonna be concerned about black people because they got afros. If I sell, you know, a certain kind of food that only black people like, then what happens? I'm gonna be concerned about black people because why? That's how I eat. You understand? If I got a bus company in the black neighborhood, I'm concerned with what goes on with black people. Why? Because that's where I get my constituents from. And here's another hidden secret about us caring for one another, which the Lord calls for us to do. Here's another hidden secret. By an independent man can talk independently. Right. Like if I got to come see you every morning to feed myself, then I'm gonna have to watch what I say. But if you don't feed me every morning, guess what? I can say whatever I want to say, and you got to deal with it because you ain't putting the bread in my mouth. But right now, everybody putting the bread in our mouth, so we silenced.
All right, Glover, you gotta go. All right, for the time's sake. Also, if you listening right now, you can catch us right now on Facebook.
One West I.S.U.P.K online.
One West I.S.U.P.K online classes. All right, on the Facebook. We're gonna cut out for the show here over the air, but we will continue for another 5 minutes or so. All right. Okay, so check us out on Facebook. All right, and all those that's listening on air, check us out here in Syracuse, 315-401-1826 to the show in to the school here in Syracuse, 313 East Glen Avenue. All right, East Glen Avenue, in the Valley. Also, you're gonna check out Commanding General Yohanna. He's gonna be in Syracuse. Y'all need to catch him while he's here. All right, all right.
Rolling with Captain Azaniah.
All right,
you better catch him while he's in Salah.
All right, Shalom, Israel. We can continue.
Okay. Yeah, like that's
our mics is off for this show.
Okay.
Oh no, we're broadcasting on this.
She'll let us go probably about another 5 minutes.
Gosh, you guys.
Okay.
Like even the pastors see that you know that the direction that they've been going in has been wrong. Right or wrong. Like their direction that was set up back in the 60s to get us to submit to them. If I could, can I get one more? Lamentations 2:1, because the Lord speaks so much better than me. I like to talk. I gotta learn sometimes let the Lord talk. You know what I mean? Like, he like, well, can I? This is my thing. Can I come in and say something? See, you doing a lot of talking. What about me? I'm the guy set it up. So let's get the Lord of peace. Let's get Lamentations 2 and 14. I'm sorry, I said 2:1, but I'm at 2 and 14. If I could, Azaniah, real quick. Check this out.
Lamentations chapter 2, verse 14. Thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee.
You see that? What Martin Luther King and them did back then, they thought it was the right thing. They got played by the white supremacists. They got played by the white supremacists, and they saw a vain thing, man. Something, what is vain? Something that is of nothing, that is worth nothing. That whole vision and that whole idea of the future was vanity, man, was worthless. Go ahead,
And they have not discovered thine iniquity.
They have not discovered your wickedness, meaning the men of the Lord is supposed to not bring homosexuality into the church. They're supposed to teach the people how wrong homosexuality is. They're not supposed to bring vanity and big cars as the way of life. They're supposed to get away from that and bring in the care and the need of the poor and suffering of the Lord's people.
That's right.
So in other words, what they're supposed to be doing, what they supposed to be doing, they doing the opposite of what they supposed to be doing. Give me a little bit more.
To turn away thy captivity.
You hear that? If they had done the right thing, they would have turned away our captivity, man. They would have gotten us out of this situation. Captain Mazaniah is the man in Syracuse to show you how to come out this captivity. And Doug, if he's still Doug, I don't know if he's following with us on Facebook, and other ministers in these churches, it's time for you to hear Captain Mazaniah. He might wear braids and have them studs on, but you got to listen to a man of God regardless. The scripture said, do not put a man of goodly clothing near you, and keep a man that is not of goodly clothing far away from you. That's in the book of James. So you to take this, even though you in a suit, you better see Captain Mazaniah on the same level and even higher, because he's down to the basic Hebrew and the knowledge of the truth in the I.S.U.P.K, and he can show the ministers how to come together. Read on. Let me finish this up, Mazaniah.
But have seen for thee false burdens.
You hear what the Lord said? They have seen for you false burdens. We went out in labor. Remember, Martin Luther King told us, if you're going to be a street sweeper, be the best street sweeper. When he should have said, if you're going to be a street sweeper, make sure you're sweeping in the black community. He said, if you're going to be a garbage man, be the best garbage man. He should have said, if you're going to be a garbage man in the black neighborhood. Because then that would have helped fix that neighborhood instead of turning Syracuse into a plantation.
That's right.
Based on Syracuse University, where the masters is on one side of I-81 and the slaves is on the other side of I-81. Finish that if you could. I'm gonna pass it right back.
And causes of banishment.
And what?
And causes of banishment.
And causes banishment. We banished from society, man. We ain't in society. Look at the brothers and sisters in Syracuse. We banished from the rest of society, man. You go to them sports games and all of that. Ain't black people can't hardly pay for those tickets, man.
That's right.
They got to have special days and special discount days for us to even get in and see the game. You in there playing the game. You black, you playing in the game. It's 20,000 white people sitting in the stadium. That ain't white supremacy, man. Come on, huh? You finished. Is that the end of that?
That's it.
Okay. Cause banishment of the Lord's people. We like in a banished state out here, man. So Salak, yeah, go ahead.
You your wives, sir.
Christ.
And also, General Muhammad, will you be did you want to say anything?
Well, just I know we have another appointment with Baba TV coming up very
soon. That's correct.
Right?
Correct, sir.
When is that? Is that?
Oh, we got until about
2:30.
Sir. Also, will you be with the class tonight at 7 o'clock?
Come.
Okay, all right. So General Muhammad's class tonight at 7 o'clock p.m. All right. Once again, the address 313 East Glen Avenue. 313 East Glen Avenue. You need information, 315-401-1826. And y'all gotta get there. Y'all gotta listen to and tune in. Commanding General Yahanna, the last of the angry black men. We needed the flood today. In the city, we need that flood. You know what I'm saying, sir? So, like I said, we received a prophet, and the Lord bless Syracuse through everybody continuing on to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High and following our King, Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Tonight, Commanding General Yahanna, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, we'll be broadcasting right out of 313 East Glen Avenue, right here in Syracuse, New York. All right. Okay, Captain Akkad, Captain Saka Wolf. All right. With that, Shalom Israel.
Shalom Israel. What is on you, sir?